Hello, welcome to the Zero Ends channel. Please like and subscribe. Please enjoy our live.
Zero Ends. Welcome to the Zero Ends channel. I'm Zero Ends here. And today's stream, we're going to look at two particular prominent and well-known, we could say, journalists in all media. Now, social media, or we call internet media, in the likes of the YouTube worlds and other streaming platforms. The one they call Tucker Carlson. But before I begin, welcome to the Zero Ends channel. For those not familiar, please be always, and I would appreciate for those that will subscribe to the Zero Ends channel. Also, you can share this, leave comments, your thoughts and opinions on what we're going to be looking into. Normally, I will play certain things, but for the sake of this conversation, I don't think it will be necessary, in my opinion. And the one thing about all this is that it's going to really have chain events. And like where, if you think about it, that a lot of things has been shifting for the last 2 months in regards to the job market. And I'm looking at certain things in the Discord. They fire him because he... Now, there are rumors that there's really cause to why Tucker Carlson lost his job. But we're gonna look at some articles here and find what led to Mr. Carlson's, I guess, demise. So let me see if I can find these. And I know some people have been sending a lot of media. And then after that, we're gonna look at another person that was also lost his job as well. All right, so let's. What the hell? Why is it showing this? Huh. All right. Yeah, I don't know where they get this information from. News breaks. All right, so let me pull them up right now. Tucker Carlson. Carlson. News. All right. We're gonna look at the New York Times or the Washington Post, but mostly we're gonna look at. Oh, actually, there's a real reason why they said he got fired. So we'll look at the Washington Post and we're gonna look at the New York Times. And let me make sure the Washington Post don't play some garbage over here, because you know how the Washington Post likes to play it. They like to play games here, man. All right, I'm scrolling through to see if they'll. All right, so I'm gonna let the nice little meteor bot run its little thing, and I'm gonna share my screen. Because tonight I don't feel like doing much reading, unfortunately. So now, and then make sure the phone line is also active here on the other side. So if anything, I'm going to do a little tester, see everything's going good. If anybody could raise their hand on the phone lines, the number to dial in is 717-908-1834. Access code is 917-324#. If you're in the phone lines now, can you please raise your hand so I could do a reader test, if you can. I will open one of your lines to check if y'all can hear this. All right. Well, no one has really raised their hand, so I'm gonna let them listen. So I'm gonna run it, and before I run, let me share my screen to see what really is going on here. I have some more insight why he might be fired than what people might think it is. Let me see. Share screen. We're gonna look at the Washington Post. Here we go. And this was posted today. Well, I think it was last night though, but nonetheless today. And please, guys, make sure you like the stream and make sure I type up the thing so y'all know. Like and share as well. And let me see if I forgot anything. I might have forgot something. Okay, let me go back here. Let me go back to the main. And let me see if everything was posted. I'm checking all my social medias, see everything. All right, so let's begin. Let me run the little special bot and see what really is going on. Let's go.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News after Dominion lawsuit disclosures. The bombastic conservative was
the speed is too fast. Hold on, we don't want that. All right, let's go. Let's go from the beginning.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News after Dominion lawsuit disclosures. The bombastic conservative was the network's most watched primetime host. Private communications made public in a recent lawsuit revealed his sharp criticism of Fox management. Updated April 24, 2023 at 7:40 p.m. Fox News dropped Tucker Carlson, Its controversial yet top-rated primetime host, on Monday a sudden and surprise parting with one of the most influential voices in Republican politics, who had helped define the network's bombastic tone in the Trump era.
So he's a Republican, from what we're hearing about. And I'm not sure if him or many other journalists played a part in the 2016 election, because really truly they were trying to push Hillary to win. Because remember, this is her only chance to be in the office to have a woman represent America, but she couldn't fit the bill in regards if they had to pick between the two evils, Trump or her. It looks like the American people have spoken, unfortunately. And like always, they have to deliver for the public. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but let's have this conversation. Trump himself, in my opinion, wasn't really thinking of winning. Much as I'm not sure why he even attempted waste his time to run for office. But nonetheless, he ran and miraculously he won. And as you know, after 4 years after that, he did not win the re-election. Now, a lot of people said COVID has something to do with why he did not win again. I'm not no picky of who runs office. I think people should focus more of local elections than the big White House, which we're going to probably be more focused in the next couple months going on to 2024. So keep a watch eye on this one. So anyway, let's continue. Let's read on.
His firing came less than a week after Fox settled the defamation lawsuit from Dominion Voting Systems, which had sued the network for airing false claims that it had conspired to rig the 2020 presidential election, for $787.5 million, the largest publicly disclosed monetary settlement ever in an American defamation action. Though Carlson
oh my God. Are you serious? Ooh, jeez. Whoa. That's how much they got sued? Was it worth it, Mr. Carlson, to really run around and spread false rumors? And there were a lot of men, mostly conservative men, were running that narrative that the whole election was rigged. And come to find out, there was no such thing as a rigged game in the election. Let me see if everybody else can hear me on my end, because I have to make sure I'm heard. All right. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear that? Can you hear it? Good God. I guess I'm gonna have to read it in. This what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let this one run, and then the next article I'm gonna read. So you'll hear me time in because I can't like sink it in. But let me keep going. Big JNYC because it's a short article, so I got you. I'm reading the next article. All right. Let me continue, guys. And I apologize. Normally I would read it, but it's better I let the bot do it just to clear the airway and then give my commentary. But so far, what has been read so far? Oh, you can't hear either? All right. So that means I'm gonna have to avoid it and read the whole thing then, because this is not working. And the only way I'm gonna have no. Let me test this. I'm gonna do something. Let me test this. I'm gonna do something.
avoided trafficking in those specific conspiracy theories. His private messages were among thousands of internal communications made public during its progress through the courts that caused angst and embarrassment for Fox and heightened the company's legal jeopardy. More recently, Carlson's staff culture had come under its progress through the courts that caused angst and embarrassment for Fox and heightened the company's legal jeopardy. More recently, Carlson's staff culture had come under its progress through the courts that caused angst.
Okay. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to have to read the article because it looks like this will not work on my desktop. And I feared that this was going to happen. Normally, I have a mic set up on this. I don't know why I'm still doing it. But anyway, I'll read it anyway for y'all. I'm gonna read as clear as possible. Fox News dropped Tucker Carlson is controversial yet top-rated primetime host on Monday. A sudden and surprise parting with one of the most influential voices in Republican politics, who had helped define the network's bombastic tone in the Trump era. His firing came less than a week after Fox settled a defamation lawsuit from Dominion Voting Systems, which had sued the network for airing false claims that it had conspired to rig the 2020 presidential election in for the amount of $778.5 million, the largest publicized disclosure monetary settlement ever in the American defamation action. Now, if we look at how much Fox News network is, we could say it's in the billions. So to find that they lost almost roughly a billion was already a slap in the face already. Let's continue. Though Carlson largely avoids trafficking in those specific conspiracy theories, his private messengers were among thousands of internal communications made public during its progress through the courts. The cause against the embarrassment for Fox and heightened the company's legal jeopardy. More recently, Carlson's staff culture had come under scrutiny after a former booker for his show sued Fox News for discrimination, claiming that she endured sexist treatment while working for him, and message revealed in the lawsuit shown Carlson refers to Sidney Powell, a female attorney affiliate with Donald Trump, as it looks like he's using the word cunt, if I could be wrong. But Carlson comment about Fox colleagues, as partly revealed in the Dominion case, also played a role in his departure. In person familiar with the company thinking told the Washington Post. Dozens of communications from Carlson's and other Fox personnel remain out of public view. Redact at the request of Fox attorneys, but they have been seen by top Fox executives. Others generate headlines when they were released this year with Dominion legal filings. Or Dominion. Do the executive understanding how much credibility and trust we've lost with our audience. Carlson wrote to a colleague in a message a day after Fox, like other media outlets, called the election for Joe Biden. It was a sentiment echoing by others at Fox in the fall of 2020, when even networks officially who reject Trump's election fraud conspiracy theories futtered that counter them strongly would alienate their conservative views. In another message, Carlson refers to management with an expletive. Those F's are destroying our credibility. He later wrote, a combination of incompetent liberals and top leadership with too much pride to back down is what happens. Carlson, who works from a remote studio in Maine, did not respond to repeated messages asking for comments on his departure, which came an hour before rival cable network CNN on-site longtime host Don Lemon lost his job too, which we're going to read in a second, because he got fired the same time as Carlson, surprisingly. The decision to drop Carlson was made Friday evening by Fox Corp CEO Lachlan Murdoch and Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott, according to the person familiar with the decision, who spoke on the conditions of anonymity to discuss sensitive personal matters. The host himself, whose last appear was Friday on the nightly show, only learned on his firing in a phone call Monday morning. He and his team had spent the weekend working on their plans for summer shows, according to a person familiar with the conversation who spoke on the conditions of what they call immunity to be catted about internal matters. The network was still running promos for Carlson's show Monday morning. Notably, Carlson was not given a chance to say goodbye to the audience he had amused in his years as a primetime host. His executive producer, Justin Wells, is also leaving the network, according to the person familiar with the changes. Fox said the 8 p.m. time slot, which Carlson had held since April 2017, will be filled on an intern base by rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. Okay. The news generate shock waves across the media. On ABC, the Views, who's mostly liberal, host regards Carlson as something of a supervillain. Whoopi Goldberg announcement drew cheers from the studio's audience. On Real American Voice, a right-wing stream of cable channels, Donald J. Trump expressed shock over Fox's decision, but speculate about Carlson's emergence as an even more powerful voice in the GOP politics. I love to see Tucker speak his mind. Not that he doesn't, with even fewer restraints on a platform where he's not answering to the Paul Ryan and the Karl Rove. The former president's son said in a knowing reference to two more moderate Republicans, the former House Speaker, who now sits on Fox board, and the veteran Washington or George W. Bush consult, who is a Fox contributor. I predict Tucker goes independent, said Meg Kelly, a former Fox host who now has a podcast and radio program. Tucker launched a podcast or digital show and crush it. Absolutely crush it. I will say more. What's going to happen? Tucker Carlson is going to have a YouTube channel if he doesn't have one already. And he's going to go even more deeper on his YouTube channel, which will lead to a website. Now, if I did some background, I would say Tucker has been doing this now for well over 25 years, maybe 30. And I probably will type him up right now, see a little bit more of his background. Tucker. I'm just going to take a brief pause. Tucker Carlson. I got to know a little bit more about this too, because like I said, I don't watch these weirdos. Okay, Tucker Carlson, or Tucker Swanson McNair Carlson, is an American conservative political commentator, writer, and television personality who hosts a nightly political talk show, Tucker Carlson Tonight, on Fox News from 2016 to 2023. Carlson began his media career in 1990s, writer for the Weekly Standard and other publications. The man was born May 16, 1969, so he is a Taurus, ironically. He might be 54 this year. And it goes even more. Richard Warren Carlson got 6-1. Okay. So look, he been active for over 30 some years. Interesting. All right. So I was giving the background to see a little bit more about. I'm not going more detail about him because I don't invest too much time. All right. Carlson, 53, about to turn 54 next month, the 16th, for all the Taurus out there. Your bulls, the bullheads. Very stubborn. Anyway. First made his name in 1990 as a writer for the Right of Center Weekly Standard, as contributing to magazines such as Esquires and Talks, before finding television fame as the conservative host of CNN Left versus Right public affairs shows Crossfire. He later hosts a primetime show on a liberal-leaning NSNBC and co-founder of the conservative Daily Caller site. How Tucker Carlson became the voice of the white grievances, but His rise to power as a broadcaster heavyweight began shortly after the 2016 election, when Fox gave him a primetime role. Within a couple of years, he eclipsed 9 p.m. host Sean Hannity as the network's most watched personality, and like Hannity, became an occasionally confidant of Trump in March of 2020. He visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago to warn him that the coronavirus need to be taken seriously. Later, though, he said with a growing chorus on the right when he seems to dismiss the pandemic and debride efforts to promote, yeah. In 2022, Tucker Carlson's Tonight averaged 3.32 million total viewers and received a large audience in all the cable news with the convent of 25 to 54 age demographics. That is a well sought out demographics. That is right on the mark. And for all those that do content, right, on YouTube, podcasts, etc., the sweet spot is you want to get people that is roughly in their mid-20s to roughly in their 50s. If you can hold an audience around that range, you're doing a great job. And that is the sweet spot every, not only personalities, podcasts, but content creators should try to seek. You want to get people from young to potentially old on your listen to your stuff. That's just a side note. All right, let's move on. And please, guys, hit that like button. His success was particularly gratifying to the network's billionaire's co-founder Robert Murdoch, seen as a prophet to Fox resilience even after the loss of marquee star like Bill O'Reilly, whose time slot Carlson inherited after a long-time host was fired admitting a sexual harassment scandal, but some top executives shafted as at how much Carlson seems to thought his relationship with the Murdoch's son, what they call Lakshin, and his ability to make his own rules according to people's familiar with the company's thinking. Carlson became a dominating force not only in the media but also in Republican politics. He delivers a very keynote addressing on Friday at the Heritage Foundation of the 50th anniversary celebration, in which he liked it garner affirming surgery for youth of sexual castration of children and abortions to child sacrifice, drawing rousing applause. Rousing applauses. Once known for radically body shaming, body slamming his liberal guests, Carlson handed book many lightly, and in January he deployed his debating skills on an ideological ally after Senator Ted Cruz Artek's reference to the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot as a violent, act, a terrorist act, actually, where he ended up backtracking and apologized under Carlson's withering questioning in appearance on the show. Was it 2021? Yeah, it was 2020. Okay, I was right. Yet Carlson drew an unexpected backlash from Republican lawmakers last month after he used January 6 security footage given exclusive to him by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy Arcliffe in an attempt to present the Capitol riot as mostly peaceful. The U.S. Capitol Police accused him of cherry-picking footage in service of offensive and misleading conclusions. Meanwhile, his show has sparked frequent controversy for Fox in December 2018. Carlson lost at least 26 of his advertisements after he said immigration makes the United States dirtier. Oh, yeah. And in 2019, the liberal watchdog group Media Matters for American unearthed more than a dozen instances. The Carlson made incendiary comments during guest spot on the Baba the Love Sponge radio show, making light of child marriage, calling it rape or grape, shield laws totally unfair, describing women and extremely primitive, and using sexist vulgarity. Yeah. Carlson also faced heavy criticism in the fall of 2021 when Fox Nations and the company streaming arms aired a special. He hosts a Patriot Purge, which carries suggestions that the January 6 attacks was a false flag operation perpetrated by the U.S. government. Two longtime Fox News commentaries, Joanne Goldsberg and Stephen Hayes, quit the network in protest, but Fox reportedly stood by Carlson. This spring, as revelations from Dominion trove of internal communications piled up, Carlson also came under scrutiny when a former top booker for his show, what they call Abs Grossenberg, sued Fox for sexual harassment and other alleged wrongs. In her suit, she said that when she started working for Carlson, she found the office plastered with large images of then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi the Clef in a plunging bathing suit revealing her curve or her cleavage. She also alleged that male colleagues on Carlson's staff openly critiqued the looks and sex appeal of prominent female politicians as well as their own female co-workers, and that a boss asked her uncomfortably questions about the sex life of her former boss, Maria, what they call Bartimon or Barmino. Grossenberg and her attorneys took a measure of vindication of Carlson's departure. This is a step towards accountability for the election lies and biasless conspiracy theories spreading by Fox News, Grossenberg said in a statement, as well as for the abuse and harassment I endured. Carlson was also facing legal treatment over his comments about Ray Epps, a former Marine who attended the January 6th insurrection. A lawyer representing Epps sent a letter to Carlson and Fox last month demanding that the host apologize for insinuation that Epps was a government agent planted at the scene to incite violence. Well, is he? Well, was he? I'm just saying. Anyway. Where am I? During an appearance on 60 Minutes on Sunday night, Epps said that Carlson is obsessed with him and is going to any means possible to destroy my life and our lives. In a settlement, Epps' attorney said Monday that Fox's decision may shield them from responsibility for Carlson's future lies, but Fox remained liable for Carlson's past lies. On Monday, Fox News colleagues were stunned by Carlson's departure. We just learned of this like everyone else. Total surprise of my end. One staffer told the Post, speaking on the conditions of anonymity, to share private insight into the newsroom. Another on-the-air personality added, "This is a major. It sends a message that even the guys with the highest rating of all, be a long shot, doesn't get to survive this disaster," which they're right about that. It fell to Fox News anchor Harris Faulkner to announce Carlson's departure to viewers on Monday. We have some news within our Fox family. She said he wanted to thank Tucker Carlson for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a long-term contributor by Isaac Armstorff and Paul Furon contributed to this report. That's in this article. So that is the reason why Tucker might have lost his job. Let me see if anybody's in the call lines. No one to raise their hand. Okay. I mean, y'all guys can raise your hand. I'll be looking periodically now for those that have questions, your thoughts and opinions. But I will say this. Tucker has been active and been in this business for a long time. And that really he got his real strides during the election of Trump, which is very much telling. Very much telling. This is very much telling. But, you need somebody to catapult you to where you need to go. And, Trump is that catapult, unfortunately. Let me see here. And if I look at another article that has something related to this, they also got NBC saying Tucker was leaving. But we all know that's not true. And I'm looking and I'm scanning through. And, I want to see what this thing with Dominion reached settlement to defamation lawsuit. I wonder what is this about. Let me look through this. We're going to read this, the Dominion lawsuit, because that really is going to really segue why Tucker really lost his job. So I'm going to share this. I think this is really major. All right. So let me do this. Let me get rid of some of this stuff because this stuff is distracting me now. All right. So now I'm gonna pull up now, and let me close these windows. All right. Okay, we gotta look at the lawsuit, and then after this, we're gonna move on to the other guy that lost his job. This is by Fox News. As you can see, Fox News and Dominion reached roughly close to 800 million in settlement and defamation lawsuit. Wilmington, Delaware, Fox News and Dominion voted system reached a whopping 78.5 million settlement agreement Tuesday afternoon. The party announced nearly heading off a trial shortly after the jury was sworn in. Fox has admitted to telling lies. John Pelosi, Dominion CEO, and at the news conference after the trial ended. Justin Nelson, lead attorney for Dominion, told NBC News he hopes the settlement will restore faith in the elections. And mind you, a good book that really goes into the fraudulent of elections, I think it's called what the book's called again? Damn, I forgot the name of the book. Matter of fact, let me look the name of the book, because there was a book that talks about these things about the voting frauds and what really is going on voting. Let me see if I can. I gotta find it. Wait, actually, let me go to this man's channel. I'll be able to ease it, find it better. Switch. I gotta find the name of the book, because the book really is telling what really goes on in regards to the voting aspect of things. Let me see. Let me do this. I'm probably gonna scroll from this man's channel. because it will reveal more what the name of the book. Videos. Because I forgot the name of the book. I don't know why I forgot the name of the book, but it's something with. Where is it? Where is the name of that book? Where is the name of the book? I'm sorry, guys. I have to find the name of this book because I just don't want to talk anything and you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm scrolling out to find the book. The name of the book. Let's see. Where is the name of that book? Where is that book's name? Where is that book? All right. I almost found it, guys. As y'all going, please hit the like stream, please. I'm trying to find it. I think this is the one. I think this might be the one. Oh, here it is. It's called The Stealing of America. It's called Voting. What do you call it? Voting Scam. The Stealing of America Vote. This book came out 27 years ago. Yes, that's the name of the book. All right. Voting Scam. So you could look that up on Amazon or if the book is cheap, because last time that book went up. That book last time, if I click it on Amazon, let's look. Let me see. Let me see if I could click on it and tell you when that book came out and how much that book is now. Voting Scam. Let's see if it's on Amazon. No, it does not appear on Amazon. By James M. Kohler and Keith N. Kohler. Voting Scams. The Steal of Americans Forbidden Book. Is Forbidden Bookshelves. Yeah, they removed this book. Oh yeah, they did remove this damn book. That's for sure. I don't know why they removed it, but they removed it. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, if I do that, I'll be here all night. Let me go back. Okay. Justin Nelson, lead attorney of Dominion, told NBC News he hopes the settlement will restore faith in elections, which I read earlier. This alone can't do it right, but this show that there is accountability, that we show that if you are caught lying, you will be held responsible, he said, which they're reaping the consequence now. All right. What's this? Let me get rid of that. I want to see that. Absence from the settlement details sharing with the public was an apology or any admissions that the network had indeed defamed Dominion when it allowed baseless conspiracies to proliferate on air about the company's voting machines, rigging 2020 presidential election against Donald Trump. A statement from Fox about agreement recognized in the court previous ruling that the claims Dominion had challenged in the defamation lawsuit were indeed without mercs. We acknowledge the court ruling finding certain claims about Dominion to be false. The Fox settlement said this statement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standard. We are hopeful that our decision to resolve the dispute with Dominion what they call amicable, instead of the acrimony of a divisive trial, allowing the country to move forward from these issues. When pressed, a spokesperson from Dominion said an apology is about accountability, and today's Dominion held Fox accountable. Stephen Shockford Jr., the attorney who had been expected to give open statements for Dominion on Tuesday, said money is accountability. Oh, yes, yes. And they got big bank, a lot of money. Rumors of settlements talks have been buzzing for days, particularly after the courts said late Sunday it would delay the conclusion of jury selection and opening arguments to Tuesday morning. The deal ends a month-long legal battle over whether the media company had defamed the voting machine makers when Fox broadcast election conspiracy theories in 2020. The resolution came in the 11th hour after the jury was in place and reports and lawmakers had waited for hours for opening statements to begin. The parties have resolved their cases. Delaware Superior Court Judge Eric Davidson said Tuesday afternoon informs the jury of the settlement. That means your service is done and I'm going to excuse you. Sorry about making you wait. The man sued Fox News in 2021, demanding $1.6 billion in damages. It said the network defamed it when it broadcast baseless claims that it was tied to the late Venezuelan president Hugo Chavez. And mind you, he got executed. That it paid kickbacks to politicians and that its machine rigged the 2020 presidential election by flipping millions of votes for Trump to Joe Biden. And let me check my call line. All right, I have somebody raising their hand, so let me pause here. I'm going to highlight here and see what is on their mind. All right, caller, you raise your hand. No, I have a few more paragraphs left on this because I'm going through the background of the firing of Mr. Carlson. And as you know, and what's your name? You're JNYC, right? Because you know we're live on the you know, let everybody know who's talking. Wait. Jay. No one can hear you. Let me do this. 'Cause I'm checking my other line and it's no one's hearing, so I gotta fix the problem. Stand by. Let me see if I can fix this. All right, as y'all guys wait, please hit like and subscribe. This one, let me open up another device. I know this is going to give me an issue. I don't like using the desktop. The desktop, this is not working on desktop. All right, so I'm going to log off on this. Let me log off of here. I know this is not going to work. All right, guys. I'm going to keep reading as I get another system up and running. Okay, so let me continue. The settlement came after a bruising week for Fox News during the perennial conference hearing of Davis sanctioned the network for withholding evidence and admonishing it for not being straightforward with him. He said he would allow Dominion to conduct an additional deposit with Fox corporations. All right, good. All right, so I'm up and running on this one. Let me close some windows. Where was I? Chairman Rupert Murdoch at Fox expense Davis also ruled that Fox lawyers could not use newsworthiness as a legal defense, limiting their possibility of trial strategies. Okay, let me open this one up. And let me see if I have the conference call on here. I think I should have it up here. Let me check. Oh, damn, I did not have it up here. I thought I did. Oh, this is not good. Let me close some windows. I should have the conference call here. Oh, here it is. One second, guys. Let me see if I can log myself in. Copy. Let me delete that. All right. Oh damn, the password's wrong. I know it is. Okay. All right, good. All right, so this should work now, guys. I'm gonna switch gears here. Let me highlight this. I'm gonna continue. Let me hang up on this side. All right. One second. All right, let me see if this is working here now. Attendees. Okay, can you guys hear me on the other end?
Yeah, I don't know. I hear you here.
All right, good. No, because you're not gonna hear me on the other side. So let me raise the volume up a little bit because I have to switch devices. All right, let me finish read this and then I'm gonna give you a take. Big J, first call. Let's see. Fox Court and Murdoch expense. Davis also ruled that lawyer of. Okay. On Tuesday, Davis also appointed a special master to investigate whether the Fox had adequate comply with court orders or comply with court orders. Discovered that the probe was ended by the settlement too. Few defamation suits make it a fair, but outside legal experts say the case and the extraordinary claims of the evidence fuel it was unique. The statement is a strong outcome for Dominion for those experts said, which won't have the weight has to wait years for the potential jury awarding payout struck in the appeal process. Not all settlements terms are disclosed, but experts say they believe Fox payout to be among the biggest. And like I said early in the early part of the last article, this is the biggest settlement by far. And I think I would say in American history now, because no one has ever paid out roughly close to $1 billion. Let's see. Not all settlement terms are disclosed, but experts say they believe Fox payout to be amongst the biggest. This number is not small, said Ron Neal Anderson Jones, a professor at the University of Utah College of Law, who specialized in the First Amendment. It might be the biggest of its kind in history, which is juries are also a risk, especially in a politically divisive case, she added. While going to a jury base or a presumed damaging and malice often result in tremendous damages, it still is a crap shot. Anthony Michaels Glossman, a longtime media lawyer who has represented both news outlets and the subject of stories, said in an email, I hefty sentiment without a trial is the right way to go. So it looked like they settled. They didn't really want to go all the way to trial with this. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Well. I don't know what to say, guys. Let me see.
He earned it.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
And
he earned his keep.
Yeah.
Now, let's not get it twisted that Fox News parted ways. They say they both parted ways, but that's not. Let's be real.
That's not the truth.
Fox News fired him because he was a liability. Because if they parted ways, this is a contradiction. If they parted ways, why he didn't get any notice until Monday? He didn't know Friday was his last show.
Yeah, they stated this was a surprise. This was presented in the morning of Monday morning, like real early, like around like 1 or 2 p.m. or 2 a.m.
Right. So how is it that they both parted ways? No, Fox News parted ways from him.
Yeah, because they had to pay these people almost close to $1 billion, roughly. Actually, it's roughly $1 billion. And tell you
hit it right.
And the funny thing about this, Jay, and anybody else that want to call up, I see in the chat room, please, guys, raise your hand, call up, because this is the open forum.
This is historic.
But the funny thing about all this, right, that this guy's only been active on Fox, like really like the front runner for the last 7 years. You get me? Right. I thought I was learning. I thought it was like a decade or more, but only 7 years since the coming of the election of Donald Trump. I mean, come on, man. That's baby work, bro. That's nothing, you know. But on to more present matters. Because they had to settle, it seemed to me that they were not going to draw it longer than it was, because when that thing happened, that happened roughly in 2016 going on 2017. So they've been fighting this for years. And not only they're fighting for years, Jay, they decided to say, screw it, we're going to just take the loss. We have nothing against to really fight back where we don't have to pay people a lot of short money. And mind you, Dominion was asking for big money. They were asking for over $1 billion.
Right. And also, you got to keep in mind that Rupert Murdoch was going to have to take the stand. Right? So, if they had that and they had all the hosts talk about the truth of what was going on and reading these texts to confirm that these texts were accurate, and asking them the questions they needed to know, for everyone to know that this was all they knowingly knew that Donald Trump lost, but they kept perpetuating that he had won. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was deeper than that, because again, they're not a comedy channel, supposedly, right? Mm-hmm. This is not comedy. This is supposed to be news. So the way he presents himself is supposed to be like news. They have a setting. If you look at the way the actual studio setup is, what they call that, like just the way it's set up, the stage, it's like a news type of look and decor. Mm-hmm. And so they have people think that it's news, but yet it's really commentary and opinionated. And CNN does have that as well to a certain extent, but it's not as extreme as this guy and not lying through their teeth about everything and then knowing behind the scenes that it's fake. You know, so that's what happened, and they got caught, and they seen, wait a minute, if we keep going forward, they're going to find out more. We're going to lose more money, more viewers, and then it helps the other cases that they have pending against them. You understand? So it's like it's a lose-lose, but lose bigger situation. It's like, okay, I could lose this, but then I could salvage the business, because $1 billion to them is not a lot or a little. It's something that they have access to, but it affects them. It's not like it's not a little bit of chump change. Now, the continuation of the lawsuits, it starts affecting their business. You know, because that's $1 billion they got to make up for. They just lost 700 or something. Where is that going to get that money? So they said, wait a minute, if we keep Tucker on here, which he did fuel this and we did support him, but he's bad for business right now because we're getting sued and we're going to go, there's going to be more shit. So another thing is, by letting him go, they kind of relieved themselves from him. If you think about it. So the lawsuit that was, I'm suing you for Fox, which they still could sue Fox, but they will be going after him versus, I guess, Fox News on the bigger scale where he was still employed by them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would be worse if he was still employed by them as he got this law, as Fox News got a lawsuit pending that's suing them about him. So they get rid of him and they say, okay, no, he was the one. That was the guy that was the one that was putting out the stuff. We didn't condone it, right? Even though they did condone it, but he could be the scapegoat. So that might minimize the damage on them on the next lawsuit, or minimize how much loss that they're going to lose, because they're going to lose some money. I think that the next lawsuit, this lawsuit opened up the door for the next one that's going to probably get them to win, because the facts are there. That's the only reason. It's not about just suing and they won and they know, because they presented the facts and they showed. And then they also asked their side to present their facts, right? This is what we have. Now you bring what you have. You could produce what you saying that I'm saying is right. Not. So I'm bringing you bring in allegations. So then I tell you that's not true. So I'm gonna sue you because it's defamation. And I bring you, I show you that what we did, this is how we did the process to get to where we at. And then now it's your turn to present that and, debunk or, dispute it. And you have to bring your evidence. They couldn't do that. Fox News had evidence against them, text messages, all type of things. People that worked there that admitted that, that there was a lot going on there that, people didn't know about, that was basically defaming the people. And let's get this clear. I'll end it on this. All this was for pure money. When you see all the evil going on within people, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Rudy Giuliani, whether it's Fox News, whether it's Tucker Carlson, all these people are doing it for money and power. Think about that. There's nothing else in here. I know people say that there's cult behavior. There's people that do things within these groups, and yes, that exists. But let's get this clear. They're doing it for pure money and power. And I'm gonna tell you another thing that's involved in that: sex. Because when you have money and power, a lot of these guys, when you start looking at their background, they're trying to get the most, if you want to say, the baddest women or the most good-looking women, the high-end women, what they consider, supposedly, again, it's not for me, but this is what you see. These guys, Rupert Murdoch, he's close to 100. He looked like not the Crypt Keeper, but he looks like Dan Aykroyd when he put in this movie. He looked like a corroded judge. Now this man looks like he's a skeleton, like an old, he looked like he's just he looked like a dead man walking, if you want to say. But he got married, I don't know, more than 3 times, right? Now, you tell me, he's 90 something. He's still seeking younger women. He's still seeking to get married. He knows he's gonna die, but he's getting married. And I'm not knocking the hustle. What I'm saying is this: I'm not knocking the hustle.
Listen, JJ. Let's be honest. This guy got money. Anytime any woman's supposed to really women flirt to get married to you again, they'll be fooled. Say I get your
right. But the point that I'm trying to make is this: that right. So Rupert Murdoch got the money. He got the power. So what else he's doing? He does the money and the power to get the women. And that's what a lot of these dudes are. And, if you start looking in their background, so again, whether some of them ain't even into women, they might be gay, they might be asexual, I don't know. But you do have a lot of the cases of these people that are creating mass man. Look at Donald Trump. We talk about, well, I didn't care about what the hell he was doing with the women, but the fact is that he tried to pay them with government money or campaign money. He made a mess messier, and now he's got to pay or deal with whatever he's going to deal with that. But my point is that look at the pattern of these guys again: money, power, and sex. If they don't have a strong sex urge and a freaky, a mentality, it's purely for money and power. And you see a lot of these people have evil intentions, man. And that's where I say that. So again, Tucker was doing what he was doing. They said that he was talking bad about Trump behind the scene, that he didn't believe him, he didn't believe Sidney Powell. Whether that's true or not, the point is he was doing it for money. Because if he believed it, then he still did it for money. Because he was on a show that had sponsors. If he didn't believe it, he did it for money. Because he didn't do it for free. Okay?
Yeah.
I got my license. They're doing anything. They're not doing it for free.
Mm-hmm.
You saying they fighting for the country, they want to do this for the country. Guess what? When you see that they're talking about they want to do something, to help people, for the most part, is about money. Now, we all have to survive and make money, but let's be pure. Let's be clear. Greed is another. They have money, power. They want sex, but they are greedy. That's the common thing that they have. Let's not get it twisted. Yeah, people to get rich, people should be rich. Nobody hates people. Everybody's rich or has issues with people being rich. How you getting rich? Off the backs of others? That's a problem. And we're going to call that out. It's messed up. If you busting your behind working and somebody else is benefiting and getting away with things that you can't get away with because they have money.
Yeah.
Come on now, man. So you able to talk whatever you want on TV with 3 million plus people and get away with it and lie to the people and get paid at the same time? That's crazy. I'll leave it there.
All right, thank you.
Good show, Gary. Welcome back, bro.
Yeah, sis. All right, thank you. All right. Let me do this. All right, and the final hidden and special article, which is not really descripted or present here, because really the focus really was on Tucker Carlson. But now we're gonna look at Mr. What's his name? Mr. Ed Lamont, Don Lemon. He was also released as well. So we're gonna turn to Fox News again. All right, Don Lemon says he has been fired from CNN. Lemon has been at the center of a string of controversies over his on-air comments and treatment of female colleagues. Well, I won't be surprised there because he is a booty bandit. Unfortunately, I don't like to say that, but yeah. But anyway, let's keep going. Don Lemon is terminated from his anchor role at CNN, he announced Monday. The news comes after Variety published a story this month about allegations that he mistreated his female colleagues over his career there. And earlier this year, he faced backlash over widely criticized comments he made on the air. And for those, please like the stream, share the stream. Lamont announced the news on Twitter, saying he was informed by his agent that he was being terminated, fired, for lack of better words. I don't know why people call it termination or you've been fired. I'm stunned, Lamont wrote. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. No. If you're a black man, they're not going to tell you directly. They're just going to send your walking papers. Mostly prefer a pink paper, or they'll let you view it by email, mostly nowadays. In a tweet, CNN refute Lamont's account as inaccurate. The network said he was offered a chance to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. CNN CEO Chris Lach said that the network and Lamont has parted ways, according to the memo providing to NBC News on Monday. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. The statement said, we wish him well and will be cheering him on in his future endeavors. Terminated by CNN, I am stunned. After 17 years of CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to, that's what he wrote. And really, truly, if you are a part of, the LGBTQ community, there is some sense of protections, especially a black man, you're protected in a way, somewhat in a way. Lamont joined CNN in 2006, roughly, which I'm right, 2006, after anchoring at NBC Chicago and worked as a correspondent for NBC News, The Today Show, and NBC Nightly News. Lamont first came under fire in February during a segment on CNN This Morning, in which he remarked that the Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley of 51 was no longer in her prime. The comment was made while discussing a suggestion by Haley that candidates over the age of 75 should be subject to mental competence exam. Oh, damn! I tell you one thing: if you're part of that those peoples, the LGBTQ, you don't hold your tongue. You will tell people what's on your mind, like literally. They will cuss you out. And as you know, Don Lemon is one of them, so it made sense. He will say some things like this. And I don't know if a normal heterosexual man will make these remarks. I could be wrong, but normally I rarely find these remarks. And matter of fact, if it was, that person will not keep his job long. Personally. But let's keep going. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry, Lamont said. When a woman is considered to be in her prime, in her 20s, 30s, and maybe her 40s, when pushing by co-anchor Poppy Harlow, Lamont told her not to shoot the messenger. Lech told employees that Lamont agrees to partake in training following public backlash to his comments. He also told Samarth early this month that both CNN and Lamont have moved on from the issue. Don Lemon is a lightning rod because he really came to prominence during an era where that was celebrated and encouraged in prime time, Lech said. But a variety of reports published April 5th alleged that Lamont has a long history of questionable behaviors towards women. The reports was based on more than a dozen former and current colleagues, Variety said, who described Lamont as openly hostile to women at the networks. Most of the sources spoke anonymously to outlets. ABC News has not independently verify the allegations. A spokesperson for Lamont said in a statement to NBC News following the report that it was amazing and disappointing that Variety would be so reckless. The story, which is riddled with patiently false anecdotes and no concrete evidence, is entirely based on unsourced, unsustainable 15-year-old anonymous gossip. The statement said, responding to an NBC News request for comment, CNN reference to statements it made to Variety that Lamont denies the allegation and that the network regarded a specific allegation from 2008 was unable to corroborate the alleged events from 15 years ago. Lamont termination comes less than 2 years after former anchor Chris Cuomo was fired from the network. Cuomo, who anchors his own primetime show for CNN, was fired in December 2021 after an attorney general investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against his brother's former governor Andrew Cuomo. The investigations revealed the depth of Cuomo's role in helping his brother fight the allegations. He had previously disclosed some conversations with his brother, but the Attorney General reports revealed a greater level of involvement. The CNN was aware of, the network said at the time. Cuomo filed legal action against CNN seeking $125 million for wrongful termination last year, which is still pending. And pending indeed. And let me see if I could find my other article that I did found. Let me see, where's my Gmail? And I'm looking at the other article that was sent to me. Yeah, I'm looking at the other article. And I'm not gonna bother read it because this don't really say nothing much. It's garbage. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. On this end of Zero Inch channel. And I think almost 1 hour and some minutes is good enough for this. My overall take over this. And what I see for seeking, and this is just a guess. I'm not always exact, but let's go there. That you're gonna see a major layoffs. You know, you see our layoffs of certain corporation jobs, Facebook, Instagram. Even we could see news anchors laying off a few people as well. And let's be honest, I don't care how well you're established on these corporations, like Tucker and Don, you could always be replaced and outed when the time is right. I think Don had the longer career than Tucker because Tucker only been there for 7 years, Don 17 years. So it's like a split between the two of them. I would say, if we do the math, we could say roughly 10-year difference because he survived 7. And that's funny. 2016 from 2006. That's 10 years. 5 and 5 apiece. Or actually 10, actually. No, it's actually 10. Yeah. That's a very lengthy career to be in it for that long. But I think Don Letterman, he's gonna probably, like most Negroes, he's gonna find another job like everything else. And I don't think he's gonna learn from this termination. If he was very outspoken and was really much saying derogatory things or saying certain things to certain women where he works with, it's reflected that, you know, that's going to be a big stain on his resume. Because I don't care how effective you are. If you're talking about women, and most of the women that's in those networks are mostly non-black anyway, you're not going to have a job in that field long in journalism or anchoring. I'm just saying. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that most people that work in those fields, if you don't got a podcast or you don't have a good audience rate, or you build your own your social media capital up with and get people to follow your narrative, you're going to have a hard time, surviving outside that working that job personally. I mean, we're in the stage of automation and AI, which AI could probably replace those type of anchors, possibly. I'm just saying. Because they have ways to really camouflage and make people that is actually news anchors into artificial intelligence. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, the technology is here now, guys. So I'm just saying, I don't. Overall, I think the termination between these two men are somewhat just. Because when corporations start to lose money in the billions, you're asking for a quick slate to be terminated, in my opinion. But overall, this is good. I want to hear from y'all thoughts on this articles, both Don Lemon and the main article itself, Tucker Carlson. Looking forward to hearing to y'all. Make sure you like this video and comment as well. Look forward to hearing from you. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Until next time, guys, take care.